Alright, so we are flying. We're flying Reptile Dragon 2. Once again. It's a pretty good day, other than the rain. There's actually rain right over there that's kind of headed this way. We need to keep an eye on that. But otherwise, it's a pretty good day. And by that I mean the wind and everything is pretty calm and conditions are not too terrible. So I thought I would give it a shot with the 7x5 ABC props and maybe go ahead and do all the final tune as far as trims and gains and stuff like that. I figured today would be a good day to do it while the wind isn't going to be upsetting things and complicating things. So let's just go ahead and get right into that, because honestly I don't know how much time I'm going to have in the air, because that rain is moving closer on the radar. I don't know if it will come all the way this way and how long before it does so. So I guess we'll go ahead and let me turn my audio down a little bit, make sure that's not feeding back into the mic. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get on with it. So the airplane's already flying pretty good. Now I did do another previous flight a few days ago. I didn't record it. Well, I recorded it, but I didn't do any kind of narration or anything. It really wasn't enough to post a whole video about. I had some friends and family over and kind of had an audience while I was flying, so we didn't really kind of get into any of the technical stuff. But I did fly it with these props, with 7x5 props, and I know that they work well, and they are the ones that I'm going to stick with. So I'll go ahead and do the final tune and everything with these props on. So what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and switch back to manual mode. And I want to go with a cruise throttle. And now I want to do a final manual trim, just to get it to fly pretty straight and level, hands off. Trimming my roll axis right now, just so it's, you know, it's not going to be self-riding, but I just want it to stay where I put it. It's pretty straight right there, hands off. And it's not really veering one way or the other. It veered a little bit to the right. Let me re-level. Okay, and again, I'm hands off. And other than my video dropping out for some reason, which is odd. But yeah, this time it kind of veered off to the left. So yeah, we're going to leave the roll alone, and I'm also noticing the pitch seems to be pretty well where I want it to be. So I'm just heading back out this way, towards where my antenna's pointed. Now I'm going to try to get the airplane into a straight and level situation here at my cruise throttle. And hands off, I'm not really seeing any change in the pitch. It's pitching up right now, but then it's going to drop the nose back. And now I'm still hands off, it's pulling the nose back. That's kind of a sign of some pitch stability. Probably the center of gravity is still a bit too far forward. Yeah, I still haven't touched the stick. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the trim there, so I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to go back to stabilize mode. And I'm going to go back and incorporate these new trims. So that's done. And one thing you notice, I've gone back to 50 for all my gains for roll, yaw, pitch, roll, and yaw is all on 50, which is the defaults. Now I may adjust my vertical altitude gain in just a bit here. I do want to lose some altitude first. So I've cut power, and I'm just going to let the airplane descend. I'm actually going to push the nose down, because we are veering 500 feet, or we were rather. So I'm going to settle on about 350 or so. Well, let's call it 300. We're already down a little lower than I intended to be. So let's re-engage, altitude hold, and get it to try to settle at about 300 or so. And we're going to do this at 5 amps. So this is totally hands off in 2DH, which gives us altitude and heading hold. And and I do see a slight slow pitch oscillation. It's hovering around 300 or so, but it is kind of jumping up and down, as it does tend to pitch the nose up and down a bit. So I want to see what effect this gain has on the vertical and altitude gain. I'm going to raise it back up to about 50 or so.
Heading hold active.
And see if the oscillation gets worse or better. Actually seems to be getting a little bit worse. So I'm going to lower it. It was on 30. I'm going to try dropping it all the way down to about 20 or so, and I think I see rain falling in front of the camera.
Heading hold active.
So yeah, dropping that gain definitely calmed that oscillation. You can see how much better it's holding now. It's still there, it's kind of a slow oscillation, but it's not nearly as pronounced as it was. So now I'm just using a roll input on the aileron stick just to do a turn. And I want to see how well it holds its altitude in this turn. It did lose some, but it is regaining it. Now when I level off, I want to see if it'll get back up to close to 300 where it was. You can see it's slowly gaining its altitude back. And it's not really oscillating too bad. So yeah, I kind of like this. I like this. I like the way it's flying right now. So yeah, that's just the final tune. And like I said, I'm kind of a little bit weary of those raindrops. Although I don't see it outside of my shed just yet. And it doesn't really look like it's raining anywhere nearby. Other than that direction out there, the same way it was when we took off. Yeah, I'm going to keep flying around a little bit, just filling the airplane out, but I'm not going to venture out too far. In case some heavy rain starts, I can get the airplane on the ground and get all my gear inside. And that being my video receivers, and the airplane itself is the only thing outside. So yeah, let's get on back to the subject of the props. I'm going to go back to 2D. I actually see the rain falling now in the camera. I keep seeing raindrops streak by. I'm not sure how well that's going to turn out on the recorded feed, but it's there. And you can kind of see the color is kind of changing out there. It's getting kind of a reddish gray hue to it. Yeah, I think we might have a little bit of rain approaching. So yeah, let me go ahead and do this. Go back to pure stabilized mode, and I want to throttle up full throttle and just demonstrate the speed versus amp draw with these props. So we'll go ahead and do that now. The airplane actually pitched down quite a bit with some power on, which is not what I expected. But you can see here we're pulling right at 26 or so amps flat out, and we're running about 71, 70, 71, 72 now. 71. So let's call it about 71 miles an hour, 72 miles an hour at 25 amp draw. So, and that's flat out full stick. And again, that's with the APC 7x5 props, and now I got raindrops on the lens. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set my landing up now, and we're already in 2D mode. So we'll start cutting power and lose some altitude and get ready. We'll just land straight from this direction. But it still cruises fine at 5 amps as it did before, and my cruise throttles are fine. I didn't need to adjust those. But everything feels good with these props. They're going to be the sweet spot for me. And again, that is APC 7x5E props. They're actually for quadcopters is what they're intended for. You get a pack of 4, 2 left hand, 2 right hand. So it works out for a twin. You get like a spare set of props. So I'll link to those below the description, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up my gear before the rain starts any worse than it already has. And yeah, I can see it out my window now falling. So yeah, that's going to be the video for now. Real short, to the point. We flew, what, 9 minutes? And I'll probably end up editing that down a bit. But that's where we're at with the airplane. I just wanted to get it out. Not sure when I'm going to get to fly again, because we do have a lot of rain chances coming up. You can see the camera has a few raindrops on it there. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. I need to run out and pick up my stuff. So thank you for watching. and keep an eye out for us coming in the future. I will see you then.